I don't want you to be worried about them because they were fine and dandy, like talking poorly about you, kind of making you out to be the villain, or kind of like shaping the narrative into being right. But they're very powerful manifestors. But because they live in this energy of toxicity, I feel like the dirty things, the toxic things, the narrative they were spewing about you, they attracted it towards themselves. Because there's a saying that goes, the brain cannot distinguish when you're talking about someone else or yourself, so be careful what you say. Because damning someone might just be damning yourself. And I will say this, the narrative that they were saying about you, because it was toxic, it was poor, they attracted it themselves. Pisces, Aries, Libra, Taurus, Gemini. Let's dive in. Welcome to your reading with yours truly, Vaquero. You know what energy I'm feeling tonight? Someone that is afraid of commitment, someone that's afraid of love, somebody that's afraid of facing the reality of what it actually is to finally feel something romantical, you know? And I feel like this is coming from your individual or your person. That's like the energy that's coming through from right here. So one thing that I'm actually also feeling very strongly is the avoidance of accountability. Avoidance of accountability very fucking strongly. Right, but as of now, if this message resonates, stay. If it doesn't, move on. A better reading will always find you. Please let me into energy of my collective's individual. Collective's individual. Two of Pentacles, the Magician. Constant state of trying to, I want to say constant state of trying to stay in power, or maybe trying to present an image of themselves. The Magician signifies power, signifies manifestation signifies creation. So maybe this person was a very strong manifester. You know, the person that you were dealing with. They would speak something negatively and then something negatively would happen. But the way that I'm viewing the Magician right now is a creator of illusion. Because a magician creates illusions. A manifester creates the illusion of a reality they can have and then they bring forward to it. But we have to look into the Two of Pentacles because that signifies struggle. That signifies not being able to hold something, not being able to sustain something. So the way that I would actively read these two cards would be more of as an individual or more as a person struggling to contain an image that they show, or a person struggling to contain something stable within themselves. And then we have the Three of Swords. That's so fucking crazy! Because I literally, it was turned around and I said, struggle to hold an image of themselves. 10 of Wands signifies that. 10 of Wands signifies struggling to hold something heavy. Dude, I love how when I channel, I feel it and then the cards prove me right. Look at this. 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 It's like I feel like your individual is struggling to hold an image that they portray into the world. Right? Or maybe you came to know that the way that they portrayed themselves to people was very different from the way that they portrayed themselves to you. You know? And the energy is coming through with somebody is like having a really, really hard time holding on to power. Or somebody is really having a hard time holding onto the image of something. This could also be a part of your relationship, or maybe they talked mess about you, or they talked very poorly about you to people around them, people close to them, and all of a sudden, hey, like the stories are quite not matching, you know? Why are you talking poorly about her, but why do we see that you're still like looking at their social media? Or why were you talking poorly about them, but why are you thinking about reconciling with them? You know, if they're so bad of a person, why are you still thinking about them or bringing them up? Why are you still actively, you know, maybe considering a future with them? It's more like that. It's more of like what they presented you into the world. It's no longer matching the image they told the world. And now it's like they're dealing with the consequences of what it is to hold that specific narrative. You know, that's what's coming through because the Magician to me, it's not coming out as healthy. The Magician to me is not coming out as healthy. The Magician to me is coming out more as somebody trying to stay in control, somebody trying to stay in power. How do they view my collective? How do butterflies are very, very significant. I don't know why butterflies are coming out. Maybe a butterfly tattoo, maybe like they called you butterfly, or maybe they gifted you something with a butterfly. But butterflies are being very significant at the moment. They view you. I feel like some of their insecurities were pushed onto you. That's what I'm feeling. Because what I'm hearing from this is like, oh, you're very close-minded, or like you live too much in your head type shit. So it's like with the Eight of Swords being shown right here and like the Nine of Wands reverse, this is like an individual, or this is like a person portraying their energy onto you, the creator of illusion. I feel like the way that I would actively read these two cards together, or the way that I would read these cards, would be more as they felt like you were the one that was not meant for so much, right? Or maybe they tried to downplay you in their head to make themselves feel better, to make themselves feel bigger. Or maybe they could have also blamed you for problems in the relationship that they were the ones contributing to them, right? But the way that I see these cards, or the way these cards are coming out very fucking strongly, they're coming out strongly more with like the underlying energy, or like actively the like underlying heavy perception of a person, an individual, thinking that you're mentally the limited one, thinking that they will do better than you, thinking that they had more power than you, only to realize that they were the ones struggling with this. Because again, the energy that's coming very strongly from this reading, it's like a narrative they told people, or a narrative that they were spitting out into the world. It's no longer matching what they feel, what they want, what they actively desire, right? You're being asked to not hold on to, you're being asked not to hold on so tight to thinking that you lost something good. Like, I'm gonna clock you on that real quick. Like, I feel like your spirit team is telling you, hey, like, we don't really want you to think that you lost something valuable. We don't really want you to think that you lost something precious, because that's exactly what the fuck we're not seeing with this individual, right? And I say that because we have the Ace of Pentacles reverse, Four of Pentacles, and the Chariot, right? So even though things happen in your life, you always find a way to kind of get up on your feet. Or even though things happen in your life the way that you don't want them to happen, you always find a way to kind of like sustain yourself very stable within your character. Or you try to maintain respect with people, because what I'm hearing is like, if you give me respect, I'll give you respect. If you give me love, I'll show you love. If you show me attitude, I'll show you attitude. It's like equal give and take, you know? And it's like, why was it different with them? Like, they're not really that special. You know, they're really not as much as you think they are. So like, why are you tripping what they could be? Why are you tripping what they were? You know? And it's like the Eight of Swords, Nine of Wands reverse, Four of Pentacles, the Chariot. It's even until this day, if you guys are no longer talking, for some of you guys, they are still actively like measuring themselves against you and thinking that you're the one that's worse, or thinking you're the one that does not deserve better, or thinking you're the one that they're supposed to be better than you. You know, that's like the energy that I'm actively feeling from this reading, or that's like the energy that I'm actively feeling from this. But I want you to acknowledge, and I want you to know that it's like, I feel like they set some sort of stupid narrative, or there was something going on right here where they kinda, not even kinda, I'm convinced that for some of you guys, they actively try to downplay who you were. They try to downplay what you represented in their reality, and now they're being left to carry that fucking truth. You get, like, me explico, me entiendes? Quiero que me entiendas. If you don't speak Spanish, figure it out. But I want you to fucking understand. It's like, estos pendejos, estos idiotas, están forzados a cargar una estúpida historia que dijeron. Like, they're being forced to carry a stupid story that they made up in their head. It's so crazy because in the beginning I said powerful manifester that manifests intentionally. And I think this is dumb. You know, there's a saying in manifestation that goes, you cannot damn someone to something because your brain, the universe, doesn't actively know that you're doing it to that person, and you're doing it to yourself. So if you wish bad upon somebody without directing energy towards them, you're directing that energy towards yourself, because your brain is actively not distinguishing what it is to be them and you. And I'm telling you, I feel like they did some sort of nasty ass narrative about you to the world, but because their brain couldn't distinguish who exactly they were throwing that story on to, it kind of like, it never truly went on to you. Like the narrative they said about you is not the narrative that they're actively living, and it's becoming very hard to heavy, very hard to carry. That's like the energy that's coming through from this reading, and it's like your actions always have fucking consequences. So definitely be careful of the type. Look, I'm telling you, there's energies of third parties or there's energy of other people right here. Sorry, I picked it up with my toe. There's energy of third parties or there's energy of other people right here that were kind of like a part of your relationship, in your relationship, and there was like that specific gossip going on, and it was gossip that was actually not good gossip. It was gossip that was bringing dark energies, energías oscuras, and it's so crazy because look, this card signifies no vitality whatsoever. It signifies no growth, and it signifies stagnation and insecurity, right? It signifies no growth, no change, nothing different. So to me, what I personally feel like it's coming through from the reading, and look, the tables have turned, the wheel of fortune reverse. Things not quite moving in the direction that we expect them to, and things happening very unexpectedly. I'm telling you, it's like the narrative that they told other people because their unconscious manifestors literally came back to them. The moon, darkness, confusion, illusion. So again, it's like the illusion that they have told themselves about you has brought conflict onto their reality. With the Five of Wands right here, there's definite conflict going on. I will say that I definitely feel like there's conflict going on, and I want you to be able to realize that. I want you to be able to acknowledge that. And remember when I told you about equal give and take? Six of Pentacles reverse signifies not the equal give and take, not giving, not receiving. But again, it's like I want you to acknowledge that things are brought on yourself. Like things are brought up on yourself. And the stories, the narrative that they were telling about you, or they were actively telling the world about you because their brain energy could not distinguish that they were throwing it at you, they attracted it towards themselves. They brought it on towards themselves. So I definitely don't want you to think that you're actively not blessed, because I know for a fact that you are. So again, next time you wonder why things are not working out with this individual or why things are not moving forward, ask yourself whether you really do want somebody that be manifesting negative outcomes for their dirty ass mouth. Because I feel like this person has a toxic mouth. So again, I will tell you this. The stories that they were literally telling about you manifested into their reality because the brain could not distinguish if they were talking about their own life or about fucking them. About you, not them, right? So again, don't think too much about it. I definitely feel like it's a humongous freaking blessing that you and them are no longer dealing together. So take it as a fucking blessing. Se me cuidan, cabrones.